This is Father Andrew Ritchie, and you're listening to Catholic Inspiration, a podcast from my website at studyprayserve.com. These homilies, presentations, and retreats form part of my ministry as a Catholic priest for the Diocese of Superior. And now I invite you to open your hearts to some Catholic inspiration. Today is Wednesday of the 23rd week of the year, and our Gospel reading is Luke chapter 6, verses 20 to 26. Raising his eyes toward his disciples, Jesus said, "Blessed are you who are poor, for the kingdom of God is yours. Blessed are you who are now hungry, for you will be satisfied. Blessed are you who are now weeping, for you will laugh. Blessed are you when people hate you, and when they exclude and insult you, and denounce your name as evil on account of the Son of Man. Rejoice and leap for joy on that day. Behold, your reward will be great in heaven. For their ancestors treated the prophets in the same way. But woe to you who are rich, for you've received your consolation. But woe to you who are filled now, for you will be hungry. Woe to you who laugh now, for you will grieve and weep. Woe to you when all speak well of you, for their ancestors treated the false prophets in this way." All right, so here's Luke's Beatitudes. This might sound a little familiar if you are aware of Matthew's Gospel, where in chapter 5 of Matthew's Gospel, we have the Beatitudes in Matthew's version, and there are 8 of them in Matthew's version. Here you only have 4 blessings with 4 corresponding woes. And so you have here in Luke this awareness of a reversal of fortune, that if things are going really well in this life, that might spell problems for you in the next. And if you're going through hardship right now, that will spell a blessing for you in the next. How do we understand this? How do we pursue this? And how do we incorporate this into our lives? And this notion of, good times and bad times, things that are a real blessing and things that seem to be a real curse. How do we deal with this through our life? And friends, the key here that I would use to unlock this is the awareness that life is change, but Christ is our focus. Remember, Jesus is talking here. And so, friends, when we are in a moment of blessing in our life, we better be mindful of those who are really struggling and going through hardship. And how do we help them? And when we're going through the hardship and the struggle and feeling really, really downtrodden, to recognize that God still walks with us, and we call upon the Lord for the help and strength we need to get through this. See, in other words, there is, out of the blessing, an awareness of how do we help, and in our need for help, to call upon the blessings that God can provide, and to be open to how God will put people in our life and opportunities in our life to bring us the strength that we require. In Ignatian spirituality, we talk about consolation and desolation. That there are times in life when we receive real consolations from God. Smooth sailing, things are great. That doesn't mean that we take that as that's all about us. That means that we thank the Lord in gratitude for those blessings. We remember, again, our focus is on Jesus. That in those times of blessings, we are filled with gratitude to God, and then we consider the ways in which those blessings flow through us, from God, through us, out into the world. And similarly, when we're in times of desolation, it's an uphill battle in sleet and snow with the wind just pounding on us and we're being crushed. In those moments, that's when we call upon the Lord and remain faithful, that in those times of testing, in those times of struggle or pain, how much more to be on our knees and ask the Lord for our daily bread that we can continue, because these things won't last forever. And that's kind of the way that we think about this in our earthly life. That, there are good times and there are bad times. And they tend to flow in and out and weave through our lives and through the course of our experiences. Friends, today, in light of the blessings and woes that we have here in Luke's Gospel, these Beatitudes, they're real. But they remind us and inspire us to always keep our focus on Christ, so that in those times of blessings, our gratitude to the Lord allows us to live the blessing and live it outward towards others. And in those times when we are really struggling, to call upon the Lord for the help we need, that we might carry on. When we do this, then God continues to strengthen us. For the moments of blessing, that gratitude keeps us humble. And in our moments of struggle and trial, we recognize how much we need the Lord and lean into our faith to give us the strength that we need, the wisdom and insight that we need, so we can find our way. Now, let's be practical. As you're listening to this right now, where are you? Is it a time of blessing? Is it a time of woe? Is it a consolation where things are seemingly all firing on all cylinders and everything's going great? Or is it a time of desolation where there's a struggle, there's a doubt, there's a fear, maybe there's a real worry, maybe there's just a lot of work and it's exhausting? Wherever we are, we focus on Christ. We turn to the Lord. And from our particular moment in time, we ask the Lord for the strength, the help, the wisdom, the grace we need to carry on. God bless you all. This is Father Andrew, and I hope this podcast inspires your faith. Now, if you found it helpful, please share it with a friend. And you can help me by leaving a rating and a review. I keep all my listeners in my daily prayers, and I ask for your prayers in return. God bless you, my friends.